Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and today we're going to take a look at the Seraphon. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about how Seraphon act on the table in Warcry briefly. We'll then take a look at a couple of units we can use to start our Seraphon warband with. We'll then take a look at some other units after this to look at how to expand upon those initial purchases with our warband, and finally finish off the video with a little sample warband of 1000 renown for you to use as some inspiration creating your own Seraphon warband for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry. So before we get into anything else, you can find the rules for free for the Seraphon and indeed a ton of different warbands on warhammercommunity.com. Simply go to the download section of that website and under the Warcry header you'll find a ton of different downloads. Seraphon are located in order compendium number 2. And so, talking about the Seraphon, they're a pretty aggressive force with some really solid combat options for them. They've got pretty decent fighters as their baseline. They've also got great support for the bulk of the force, as well with fast-moving and agile rune-marked fighters who get some really cool abilities to play around with for your Seraphon. You also have some beasts, which is really cool, meaning you have some fighters that make use of those beast rune marks. You get some beast master-like fighters, and you've got a cool reaction that allows you to potentially turn up to 2 critical hits, targeting one of your fighter into regular hits instead. So some good way to keep your fighters in the fight longer with a really cool reaction there. And so, looking at where to begin for the Seraphon, I think the Saurus Astrolith Bearer, for me, is a really solid start. First of all, toughness 4, 25 wounds, 155 renown for him, I think is really solid. 3 attacks at strength 4 and 2/4 on the damage is pretty nice as well. On top of this, he has access to the quad ability for our leader options with Revivifying Energies. You remove a number of damage points up to the value of this ability allocated to each friendly fighter within 6 inch of this fighter. That would include himself because he is wholly within range of himself, which is really nice. On top of this, we have the Cold-Blooded Commander ability, which we get from regardless of what hero we're taking. So, you know, you're getting this regardless, which is a fighter can use this ability if an enemy fighter has been taken down by an attack action made by them, this activation. They're going to get to make a bonus move or a bonus attack after. So pretty cool stuff. If he's picking on someone already damaged, he gets to take them out, can take out or at least do some damage to a second fighter as well. Alongside this model, we have chosen Saurus Guard. I think these are really solid fighters for the Seraphon. Saurus Guard are going to get toughness 5, which is really nice, and 15 wounds. Pretty good for a baseline troop, especially at 120 renown. 3 attacks at strength 4 and 2/4 on the damage as well, and a nice 2-inch range is a really solid fighter all round. I think they're just a nice solid thing. You're of course going to get the option to be able to make a alpha for your Saurus Guard as well, which is going to bump them up to 20 wounds, give them that leader rune mark, and then get 4 attacks at strength 4 to 5 on the damage instead. Where to look to next after all of this, and the first one is Skinks. While we've got some decent fighters in the Saurus Guard before, Skinks really do have some cool abilities to play around with. First of all, they do have that nice minion rune mark, which is really cool, going to give them access to some fun abilities to play around with your Seraphon, especially the Nimble Retreat ability, where a fighter can only use this ability if they're within an inch of an enemy fighter and they can make a bonus disengage action. This is really cool, allowing your Skinks to get bonus actions to get out of the fight and then get moving around the table. Really good for making them actually some pretty decent objective grabbers or indeed treasure carriers for your warband. That base move of 6 is really nice when you consider you do lose movement for moving around with treasure. And you've got a fair different options. You've got your Starbucklers and Moonstone Clubs, which are going to give you toughness 3, and you're going to get a couple of attacks in combat, but really Skinks don't do an awfully lot in combat. You've then got either toughness 2 option, which is going to get you the Bolt Spitter, which is the longer range weapon of 8 inch, 2 shots of 1 for its strength and 1/2 on the damage, or you've got the same range again but 1 shot at strength 3 and 1/4 on the damage and toughness 3 if you go with the Meteoric Javelin and Starbuckler. Croxigors are where I like to go next. I think these are fantastic heavy hitters for your Seraphon. 2 attacks, each at a 2-inch range, strength 5 and 3/6 on the damage, along with toughness 4 and 28 wounds, makes them an absolute beat stick of a model for your army. Now we've got the Skink Priest as another hero option for you to take as another champion for the warband. And you can really have Skink Priest or Star Priest. They're both pretty similar. You are saving points taking that Skink Priest though. He's 15 renown under. And really, you only lose a little bit of damage out of his attacks, which isn't really why you're taking him. You're taking him for the double Tide of Serpents, which is a nice bit splash damage ability for your warband. Lastly, we have Skink Handlers and the Salamander Hunting Packs. So the Skink Handlers are just pretty much nothing. They're really here because they've got some of the cool abilities to go along with the Salamander. The Salamander has a nice ranged attack of 7-inch, strength 4, 2 attacks, and 3/6 on the damage. This is a just flat 7-inch, so it means it does get to use this in combat as well, which is really, really cool. Toughness 3 and 16 wounds, that can be a little bit flimsy, but Salamanders can pack an absolute punch. If you can get the right sort of abilities on your Salamanders, it can be really fun. On top of that, for a double, your Hunting Pack rule, which your Skink Handlers can use, you pick a visible friendly fighter with the Bestiary Muck, aka Salamanders or Razordons, within 2 inches of this fighter, and they get to make a bonus attack. Really good at getting some extra damage out of these models. And so here we have our sample or warband for the army. We've gone with the Saurus Astraeus Bearer, who's going to be our champion. He's just much more survivable than the other leader option we've gone with in the Skink Priest, who is just going to provide some extra little splash damage to the force. We've got 2 Skinks with Moonstone Club and Starbucklers. Really, their ranged weapons aren't that great, so it's not worth putting too many more points into them. I'd rather just have them as some good treasure stealers for the army, being able to bring them back and potentially, you know, drop it off and give it somewhere near the Saurus Guard we've got in the force. Croxigors, another great fighter in the force, and then 2 Skink Handlers, because you definitely want to double up on them. They do die pretty quickly, along with that Salamander. If you can get a couple of rounds out of this combo here and get that Salamander double attacking in a couple of rounds, really nice stuff. 1,000 out of 1,000 renown has been spent. We've got 134 wounds, which is on the upper edges of average for wound count in a game of Warcry. If you've been playing with your Seraphon in Warcry, let us know how you've been going and what you would do down in the comments below. That's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, drop us a comment down below in the comment section and let us know what you enjoyed about the video and what you'd like to see more of on the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here we have at Sinful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked in the video's description. Also linked in the video's description is our Patreon and YouTube members, where you can go to help support the channel and allow us to keep doing what we're doing. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, Kenny Lauer, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and Giappy390, and to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, and Monty's Tabletop Terrain. And lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now, everyone.